You don't have the. You don't have the answers, DJ.
Do you have the answer?
You don't have the answers.
Tony, do you have the
You
answer?
don't have the answers.
You don't
DJ.
have the answer either.
You don't have the answer.
Woo! Big up, everybody. Welcome back to TJ Warren TV. Welcome back to American Idiots, episode 101. Guess what? We are on the road to 200 episodes of the American Idiot Show, people. Dal, I know it's been a couple of weeks. Life stuff has gotten in the way, but we are still here. We are still watching.
Your sound is not coming in well.
Oh, okay, hold on. Talk for me then.
And you're lagging really bad.
Okay.
Okay, there you are.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That whole intro, yeah. Missed all that.
Okay. Weird. All right. Well, we're here now. How is it? How you doing, brother? You good?
I'm doing great. Yeah. Big up to everybody in the chat. Big up, bro. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. Hope
yes.
This is in America. I think they celebrate it in March in the UK. But yeah, doing great. Doing great. Couldn't be better. Oh God. No, 14 draws, TJ. 14 draws. Must hand it to Arteta masterclass today. Yeah. Masterclass Everton, masterclass Leicester City, Wolverhampton. But hey, here we are. We're probably going to finish third. Possibly.
If we finish third, man, I think we got to shut the channel down. Like the Man City fans are going to come in here. They're going to be like, ha 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 ha. Like yeah. Vader's going to come in here. I'm going to hope we actually invade Canada so I don't have to hear Vader talk to me about how Man City. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just kidding.
I get it. No. Big up to Vader. Yeah, I big up in a way. I'm sure you'll lift a trophy. And that's the thing. Our rivals are lifting trophies. Our rivals are in a freaking European Cup final. European, I use that lightly, of course, meaning UEFA League, second-rate, disgusting final.
It's absolutely it's so embarrassing.
It's more embarrassing and disgusting. Did I say disgusting enough? It's disgusting. Shout out Flawless and Jacob. So, no, the thing is this. Our rivals are in contention to lifting silverware again. Chelsea, City, United, or Spurs. Spurs could lift a trophy before our fraudulent FA Cup, COVID, Emery's team winning side. What an embarrassment. I am right. I'm beyond angry now. I was angry about a month or two ago. I was angry since we lost to Bournemouth 2-0 in the first part of the season. I knew it was done then, but I'm just embarrassed now. And for this manager to come out and say the things he said in the last few weeks about PSG and add, kerosene to a fire by saying that today you're going to see the better side or some bullshit like that. I mean, the gall of this manager to actually think he has any sort of leg to stand on.
Yeah.
Dude, 0-22 in cup semifinal, final important matches. I know you're right.
Dude, if Jacob wins Europa League, I'm shutting my phone off. I'm dead serious.
So, if Tottenham wins this, if I have to wear a Man United t-shirt for an hour and a half, I gotta wear a fucking Man United t-shirt for an hour and a half. I am not going to, bro. They're both so bad, TJ. We know how bad they are. They're bad tactically. They're bad physically. Either team can barely string 3 or 4 passes together any time. But you've got to give to United in a way. They find a way. They always find a way. And they're going to beat Spurs. I'm going to say it here. I think they're going to beat Spurs 3-1. I'm going to go out.
I hope so.
And I hope so, too, by the glory of all that's God and holy in this world. And, hopefully the stars align, Tony Claude and United get this. What I would love to see is just like a thunderbolt from God come down and strike the stadium and put the whole thing in flames, and they would just have to cancel it this season or put an asterisk by it, and Zeus himself can come down and throw a bolt down onto the stadium. And, we'd have a lot of casualties with a lot of the the women and children and so forth. But the male out. I'm trying to cook. It's probably not coming off that well. But anyway,
I think it's funny. I think it's hilarious.
United, and you know what? They are lucky to be in the position they are by the skin of their shit teeth. I swear to God, bro. And shout out Deji. Don't talk about dust, fam. I don't want to hear about dust, how every team is dusty, and if you don't win, it's going to be dusty. There's nothing, anything that's dusty is your trophy cabinet and your elbows. So, dude, here's the thing. Tottenham ain't going to win this. I can't wait for the look on their face when all the United rivals, right, like us, are just oof. We're just waiting for this. But you know what? I don't even think I'm going to watch it.
I'm not watching it.
Or a dog take a shit in the front yard that some old lady has to clean up, because I am over this season. I need alcohol, drugs, sleep. I'm on the root beer, but hey, I may have to join you soon. I need therapy after this season, bro. I'm telling you, this has done one on me. I am not accepting. I don't accept Tottenham winning the final. I don't accept Chelsea, Man City. I hope Crystal Palace fucking just cook them 4-0, but I know that's not going to happen. This is where
Man City tend to drop against smaller sides in big games.
And Palace is pretty damn good right about now, right? They're really finding form, and you know, a long ball to Mateta. Who knew that was going to be the answer to so many problems, right? Well, Man City are about to find out. I think, I hope Palace win. I forget who are Chelsea playing. Who are Chelsea playing in the Confederation Cup?
Who gives a shit? They're gonna win. Who cares?
I got it. Some shit.
No, Bodo Glimt just went out against Tottenham, and there's a mad echo going on right now.
No, I mean, how does that sound? I'd turn my volume down on the speakers a bit.
Boom, boom. Yeah, that's better. That's way better.
Better? Yeah. Is there an echo there, chat? Anyway,
Real Betis. Thank you, Mr.
Betis.
Robo. Real Betis. Yeah, they'll. Dude, that'll actually, at least that'll be a match. Like when they're playing against like Polish, teams from the Polish league. Big up Poland, but come on, come on. When you're playing against the Swedish champions, like who gives a shit?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Right, the Real Betis, there's a story with Anthony behind that, right? Would it be
dude if Anthony wins a trophy?
We could do a 15-minute episode 101.A, 15 minutes talking about how Anthony deserves the Ballon d'Or, and I'm going to tell you why. Let me tell you why. I literally thought about this the other day. This is same shit that goes in my head. Anthony deserves the Ballon d'Or. And go ahead and put in the comments if I'm crazy or not. True or false? T or F. Does Anthony deserve the Ballon d'Or?
Anthony is a the biggest example of once you leave United, you start cooking. McTominay and you could also say McTominay, he's out there cooking in Italy too. But McTominay cooked there. Yeah. Like McManus, are you kidding me?
Cooper says what? False. No, so
Di Maria, another one. Yep.
Right.
Lukaku. I don't know about Lukaku, but
I can simply say I've never bought Lukaku in any of my FIFAs that I've ever played.
Yeah, no, Lukaku.
Bidding him off, I think, if I did. Hey, the thing is though, is Anthony is the Ballon d'Or, my Ballon d'Or nominee, because he failed. It's a David and Goliath. Well, not David and Goliath story. It's a story of redemption, my G's, right? It's a story of redemption. And wouldn't it cap it off for this man to lift the Ballon d'Or, winning the Confederations Association Cup, whatever the fuck it is, and over the fucking gummy Blues, bro. I would love it to stick it to them. Love it. I would love it to stick it to them. You know what I mean? Anyway, shout out Kevin Keegan. McTominay, I think I saw this on YouTube. McTominay has like a half-hour special on YouTube about the rise of McTominay at Napoli. I'm dead serious. He's like standing there and it's all gold and black behind him. He's got a shit-eating grin on his face. So McTominay's got his own like YouTube mini-series special or some shit. It's fantastic. But seriously, McTominay and Anthony are my two contenders for fucking Ballon d'Or this season. Because if you really look at it, Vinny Jr.'s been shit. Mbappe does not deserve it in any way, shape, or form.
Hell no.
No one in Arsenal, no one in England. I mean, I think Rafinha's going to win it, to be honest, but they didn't win the Champions League. So it may go to maybe somebody like Lautaro Martinez.
Dude, you have so much stock in Lautaro Martinez. It's absolutely crazy.
Oh, Argentinian striker, Batistuta level. What are we talking here? I mean, how many times have we been on shows and he's like, oh, he fluffs his lines. He fluffs his lines. There's some names in the chat, maybe not right now today, but I recognize
not right
they told me last season that they would fluff his lines and he couldn't score out of a fucking brothel. Well, those fans and friends eat my ass because he's in another Champions League final that they're probably going to win. They're probably going to win that. I hope they do. I'm going for Inter always, dude. Fuck PSG. I don't care about
No. Let's go. I'm going for Inter Milan mostly because I want to see the Parisians suffer more, to be honest.
Yeah. I get it. I
want to see that Qatari money go down the drain. All the Enrique prop, I want to see it go down the drain.
We had to help the French in the 60s in Vietnam, and we're going to hopefully Inter does the French again here in the Champions League final.
And in 1917 and 1941. Anyway, you and I are talking like we were out there taking bullets on Normandy Beach.
Lesson,
we're not, but it is a history lesson. Big up Dr. Seymour Butts, the journeyman proctologist is in the chat. He says
that is right. Okay,
I don't know
at that level, but think about it. 2 Champions League finals in what, three seasons, or were they last year? I don't remember. Right? That is student level, not World Cup numbers yet.
Yeah,
but I mean, okay, I'm not going to say Messi. Now that would be crazy, right, Doctor? Now that I would need a proctology exam for. Putting Lautaro Martinez up against Messi to pull my head directly out of my anus. But that is still, a little bit before my time too. I mean, I was still in high school kicking the ball around and smoking cigarettes and drinking whiskey at my lunch hour. But so the fact of the matter is, the Antony story deserves a Ballon d'Or. Now I know we didn't talk about Antony. We came here to talk about the shit show that is Arsenal. And I was going to ask you, TJ.
We can talk anything football.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So let's talk this. Let's talk about maybe Berta is willing to work with Arteta and this Fugazi out there that Arteta and Berta are at odds. I think is a complete fucking false rumor. I think that these two are going to try to work together. But I want your opinion on what. Do you think there will be some superseding of Berta over decisions that Arteta makes, or do you think they will work well together in tandem to get us to where we need to be?
Okay, so first of all, smash the likes, subscribe to the channel, people, if you are new. We will be dropping the link here in about 5 minutes and allowing people to come on for 5-10 minutes, let you have your say. We're going to rotate out depending on demand. Of course, you guys, really appreciate you guys being here on a Sunday. Me and Dal have been busy as shit in our personal lives. So really appreciate you guys being here. Here's my answer. I think that Arteta has lost a lot of capital this season. We had the team to win it. He didn't do it. I feel like there were a lot of individual mistakes. There was a lot of managerial mistakes that led us to where we are now. We did get farther in the Champions League than we did last season. I will give him that, but we are at risk to dropping to 3rd place against Manchester City. We have 6 points left to get. I think we'll get 4 of them. And there's a lot of managerial decisions that he's making that I think that if the leadership was really looking at it, and I know Berta's looking at it, that you could call into question the fact that Nwaneri is being iced out for some reason. These little things, they're not little things, but these things that other people see, and like if you and I can see it, Berta sees it and the board sees it. So I think that Arteta has lost a lot of that social capital, a lot of that trust in the board, to where they bring in somebody like Berta and he's going to have just as much weight in terms of who we bring in than Arteta is. And obviously Arteta is going to have a say. He has to manage them. Don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, like Arteta and Edu were given carte blanche and they brought in guys like
Vieira.
Lakanga, like
Yeah.
like
Vieira. I was going to say Patrick
Vieira.
Vieira.
Yeah, no, yeah, Vieira. I mean, and you do have your hits like Yuri and Timber and Declan Rice, but those were easy. And Trossard, you could argue, is a hit as well. But you also brought in Calafiore, who hasn't really come through. You brought in Zinchenko, who really didn't excel in the position that you were going to bring him in to excel in. You know, these are players and decisions that have been made that just haven't come to fruition.
Yeah.
So I think I think that there's going to be a balance. And I really want to I would love to hear your answer to your own question, because honestly, I think that there's not enough there for Arteta to be like, yeah, I'm still in charge of this shit. No, you're not. No, you're not. Otherwise, Edu would still be here. We would be lifting a trophy with some arms on it and some ears on it. And you and I would be in London right now, drunk, getting lost in the streets.
Yeah,
but no, we're not. Instead, I'm here sweating my ass off in Kansas City early or mid-spring, wondering what happened. So no, I would love to hear the answer to your own question from you, because honestly, I don't think he has a leg to stand on, and I think he's lucky to be where he is right now, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I agree with all that, and I'm starting to wonder though. Like, there's somebody put in the chat. I think it was the doctor, about them not being photographed together, not being seen together much. And maybe that's purposeful. You know, I'm not so sure about if, you can count, photographic opportunities as them just not being together when they are off photographic opportunities, right? I'm curious to see what's going on at the training ground. But see, I think there was a misnomer when Berta was hired that he was kind of going to watch over Arteta, right? Like, watch over him. And I don't know if that's happened. And the reason why I did go to my question I asked before in your answer is because we are going to give this manager $250 million June 1st.
Yeah, we are.
Right?
You're right.
So that's where I think that that's when the watchful eye of Berta will come into play. Berta has no say in what's spent already, right? He had no say in the $850 million, $750, whatever was spent, whatever that number is, right? It's more than enough to win you something. Carabao Cup, maybe an FA Cup, right? But not zero is unacceptable, which we all agree. I know everyone agrees with in his fan base, right? In the chat with us today. So I don't think Berta is so much of a watchdog as to an assistant currently, right? So he's kind of like shadowing Arteta a little bit just to figure out still the ins and outs. But I think that was kind of already done now. I think Berta is the catalyst for these decisions being made on the transfers for Zubamendi, which we know we've talked about over the last year and a half. So the links were there. I think Berta solidified the deal. I truly believe Zubamendi will be pictured Arsenal shirt come July 1st, that time frame, right?
100%.
And I do believe we are on Victor Gyökeres' radar. I think it's definitely between us and United. I could see Chelsea sliding in, but Chelsea would have a lot of selling to do before that, and that would hurt Nicholas Jackson's opportunities as well.
I think they got way too much stock in Nicholas Jackson.
Right. Overall, that whole squad, right? And that whole squad.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot
$1
of
billion,
money
$1 billion pounds, bro.
Yeah,
$1 billion pounds.
They should have a very quiet window. Maybe it's center. Maybe okay. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Chelsea, right? So with Victor Gyökeres coming in, is like, the Warrior says to fuck Jackson. Hey, there's a hater everywhere, but I think he's gonna have a good season next year, bro. It'll be his second or third season. But I get it. You're the fan, not me. I don't see anyone really pipping us to Gyökeres besides United, and I don't even know if United are going to be spending that heavy. They spent a lot on what was it, Højlund, I think.
Yeah.
I forget.
I think they spent like 50. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. They spent like 50 million on Højlund.
Because they thought he was the next Haaland, right?
And well, no, and they did, and then they figured out very, very quickly that he's the worst striker to ever play for United ever.
Yeah,
ever.
Oh, see, the doctor's saying for Gyökeres in place of Lua. Yeah, oh man, United don't have the money, right? See, so if Barcelona are in for him, that's going to be really difficult. That's going to be really difficult, right? And as we go, and as the summer days, are up ahead and progress, there's going to be more clubs, interested in Gyökeres. But if his head is turned already a bit to Barcelona, that's an uphill battle that we won't win.
There's Jackson is pretty polarizing.
Apparently so. Sorry, Warrior. Didn't mean to ruin your Sunday, evening. He's like, unsubscribe from Dow. No, I just think he's I think he's decent. We're not getting Gyökeres. We got too many risks. There you go. I'm glad we got a Barca fan in there. So if Barca Reacts is on the inside knowledge, then hey, Gyökeres can put on the number 9 shirt as soon as it's relinquished by that fraud Jesus. And I don't even want to call him saying that. Injuries, that's Arteta's fault. Injuries, Saka's injuries, Rice's injuries, but who's to say though that we're not the best club that should have won against PSG, right? And today was supposed to be the club that was to really show us who was going to win the title after we're fucking 13 points down or 15. TJ.
I know.
I just, the threat of a Spurs or a United European B-Tech European Cup is still very upsetting to me.
No, I 100% agree with you. And guys, I just put the link to the show in the chat, and we just pinned it. So feel free to join the show. I have several questions for Dow and anybody who else wants to join. I've been writing them down as they come to me. I'm scared.
It's a tough time to be an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, I'm scared. Like, look, here's where I'm at. If Spurs win the Europa League, and it is a possibility, unfortunately.
It is a possibility, right?
Because United just lost 2-0 to West Ham.
Right.
And they are West Ham, one of the worst teams in
the
league. Like, it's absolutely embarrassing. So anyway, yeah, big up Barca Reacts. No, it's okay. Join if you can, guys. Join if you can. Here's the question that I want to pose to people in the chat. Anybody who wants to come on, you're more than welcome to. But to you, Dal, will Spurs winning a trophy wake this fan base up?
So what you're saying is it's Arteta's fault if Spurs win the trophy.
That's not really what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the fact that we should be winning trophies, and Spurs will Spurs will have a European trophy, and it will be their first trophy in 18 years. And we are still looking for our first silverware that means anything in 6 years coming up.
Yeah, well, especially if it was a B-Tech European Cup. Yes, I would gladly change positions with Spurs. Not in the table though. See, that's the thing. We don't. If Spurs win this, it's going to be the worst fraudulent YouTube shows you can imagine. It's going to be so cringeworthy.
Dude, I'm deleting WhatsApp, to be honest. I'm deleting it. Yeah, I'll just give you you have my personal number, just text me. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, even our OG friend, why not here? Shout out, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, just the thought of that alone is disgusting. And that, to me, if the owners have balls and if the board have any balls, that to me is also a fireable offense, because we should be the ones in that position. I mean, even though I don't want the B-Tech Cup, right? But you know what? It's a European trophy that we won. What's up, Doctor? So yes, I don't want 17th. Like I would. God, that's hard to say, because you can't say anything about Tottenham without tying it to them being 17th.
Yeah.
Because they deserve to be 17th, because they're absolute dog shit this season. They're absolutely dog shit in the league this season. There's no other way to cut it. So, but when you talk about a European Cup, do they deserve to be there? Probably not. They could barely beat AZ Alkmaar.
Yeah.
Right? didn't they really come down to the wire? So I don't know. It's like the players play for Ange when they want to, and this is why he's going to get sacked, even if they win it or not. I think he's going to go.
I think if they win it, he's going to stay.
But I think he's out by January then.
Okay,
but
yeah,
anyway,
you're probably right. You're probably right.
So my thought is, I would take. Are you asking me if I had to sacrifice our league position?
No, I'm asking you. Will Spurs, big up Omar as well?
Yeah.
Congratulations on your win today.
Thank you.
My question, and this is the question to the panel too, because I want to let you guys take it away,
Sure.
and I'm honestly going to kick my feet up and enjoy my beverage here. Will Spurs winning the Europa League finally wake fans in the Arsenal fan base up?
No.
To raise the standards.
No, TJ. No. Because this is the truth, and I appreciate you for having me every single time.
Thank you for coming on, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be here for too long, but I just wanted to just have a say in what you guys were talking about. As far as your question is concerned, I'm sorry, but it's not, because the time to wake up for this club should have been about a season or two ago. There's been too many glaring signs, and I'm just the guy watching from the outside, and I looked at the opportunities that you guys had in the past few years, right? Where you were actually good enough, where you just needed a few signings in key areas, top signings or good enough signings in good areas, but you kept on dilly-dallying, buying players that you didn't need, buying players that, were flopping to other teams, and also buying players in the same position when there were positions in the squad that needed fixing. And this over-trusting of this manager who, TJ, you know my opinion on Arteta. I've said it before. The fact that this brother now has been at your club for 5 years, count it, guys. This is his 5th year, and we are still waiting for a trophy since his first season with a squad that wasn't even his. I've said it before. No top club would have a manager this long. I'm sorry, not United, not Chelsea, heck, not City, Barcelona, absolutely not. Real Madrid, you're dreaming. Only Arsenal. And the problem is this. He's become too comfortable at the job now. That's the problem, TJ. Because where there's people like you and obviously Arrogant Gunnar, you've got people like Noah Sad, all of these people out here who are calling out the manager, rightfully so. You will always have people who will find a way to explain everything. It's injuries. We buy new players. Oh, look at now the talk is, Zubamendi is here. Oh, this is the new one that they've got. Berta is here. So things are going to change now that Berta is here. It's the same excuse. And me just sitting there like, wow, they've already got their plans. Like they've already made excuses for Arteta. Like you can't write this. Arteta doesn't even have to explain himself because he knows the fans will basically justify everything. And it makes no sense. And the saddest thing is, you guys were very close this year. All the talk that we've always heard for so long is this. Once City fall off, Arsenal will be right there to take over. Well, this is the proof. Because this year City have been bad. City have been terrible this season. Liverpool didn't have to be great. They just had to be consistent. And yet you guys could not capitalize on them falling off a cliff. How many more signs do you need to see to finally say, you know what? Nah. I'm done. Where are the excuses? This guy, you have no excuses at this point. It's embarrassing. Like it really is. And I don't get it twisted. Like some people, this is just great content, watching, you and everybody just, losing it every season. Nah, it's not. Like it's not. Like, you guys think, as a fan, you enjoy coming down here every day, just being proven right.
I'm cooking over here, though. I like to cook, but in a good way.
But yeah, I mean, but it really is unfortunate for you guys. Like I'm talking about you, the fans, the people out here who actually smelled the coffee for seasons now. Because
bro, we've been Omar, we've been here since what? Early 2023 now? God
Sad,
damn.
really.
The hair on my face not only has grown, but has grown gray. Okay, like we are like the bags under my eyes.
bro,
It's
that's
absolutely
gray.
insane, man. It's
Bags.
absolutely insane. Like look, if this doesn't wake up the Arsenal fan base, and I want to bring this to the doc after this, if this doesn't wake up the Arsenal fan base, like I don't know what will, because like people are gonna not like what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna say it. I want United to win, so I don't have to hear from Tottenham Hotspur fans. But if Tottenham win, not only will the Arsenal fan base lose their fucking minds, but maybe they'll wake up.
Because think
Maybe
about
they'll
it
wake
this way
up.
also, TJ. And also think about it this way, TJ. Look at the season that Tottenham are having. 20 league defeats.
20 league defeats.
Imagine after
and
everything
Omar, not to cut you off. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
Please, go ahead.
If this was a different season, if we had any championship level teams that came up from the championship and were worth a shit, they'd be getting relegated, and so would United. Like this season is so far out there in terms of spectrum of results that these guys are lucky to still even be in the league. And I wanted to just see Dr. Seymour Butts, please. First of all, I made an appointment, so I'm on the docket. But I want to get your thoughts. Like, will Tottenham winning a trophy wake the fan base up?
So first up, big up to you and Dal.
Big up, my guy.
Yeah, bro. Good to see you.
And great to see you both. Unfortunately, under these circumstances, but still nonetheless, always great to see you. And big up to the chat. Make sure that you smash the like button while you're here. That includes you as well, you closet Spurs fans. Go on, don't be coy. Smash the like button, all right?
They're lurking.
That's a good lad
They're
now.
lurking.
All right. So I think to your question, right? In normal circumstances, Spurs winning a trophy should result in not only the manager getting sacked, but I mean, it should result in the entire backroom staff getting sacked, because again, we know that all these mutant Arteta sexuals, they love to celebrate St. Totteringham's Day, right? And
So dumb.
And every single year they're posting, oh, we finished higher than Spurs. Again, that's not a trophy or a standard to celebrate and or uphold. So unfortunately, short answer, I don't think that Spurs winning a trophy is going to be the ultimate final straw that broke the camel's back, but I think it's just one of the many straws that have been piling on for the last 5.5, 6 years, that the manager has earned. Well, and I say manager, right? Very heavy quotation marks here, because this person is more of a telenovela actress, play acting as a manager, not a real manager. So to that point, right? This manager has earned the sack time and again over the last 5.5, 6 years, because I've been saying it now more so like on live panels, and I'm going to say it again. No other manager or head coach across any sport, literally any sport. I was actually having this conversation with a friend of mine here. We were talking about all the great, college basketball, college football, professional basketball coaches. We've seen the likes of Popovich, right? Outstanding coach. Phil Jackson.
Phil Jackson,
Phil Jackson.
You know what I mean?
Scotty, you got Bill Belichick, Scotty Bowman.
There you go, Bill Belichick.
These coaches. Yeah.
I was also going to even go into college basketball, like Coach K, the coach Bob Knight, Red Auerbach, I think his name was.
Yeah, Red Auerbach. Yep.
I mean, and again, you can go across any sport throughout the history of humanity. No other manager or head coach has been backed this much, 1-0, and still kept their job. And if someone can prove me or suggest someone else, another name, rather any other coach or rather any other head coach or manager that has been given over £750 million, 1-0, rather over three quarter of £1 billion to build his squad, which by the way is still thin on quality and depth.
Right.
Still won nothing. Got a contract renewal for a pay increase, and then kept their job. Again, I'm truly hoping. I want to hear another example because I truly can't think of anything. So when people say, this is rather, he has, like, Mikel Arteta has taken us from the depths, as if he's done something so unparalleled and unrivaled. Rather in sports management, the only thing that he has done is wasted this much money to go in a complete circle. Because I'm here to tell you, as I'm sure that you would agree, any manager given that amount of time, money, patience, unquestioned authority, and support would have done the same thing that Arteta had accomplished. And even furthermore, an experienced manager would have done all of that and win multiple. Emery, if Emery was given that entire bandwidth, Dow and TJ and Omar in the chat, and you know this, if Emery was given all of that unquestioned authority and support, all the final decision making with respect to transfers and tactics and etc. 22 and 23, we would have won the league. 23 and 24, we also would have won the league. If Wenger was given £750 million, we would have won the quadruple at minimum. And if anyone wants to debate that, I'm here to have that debate, because this
links in the chat.
Because this man was getting us top four with getting us top four with Billy Bean Moneyball tactics. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Flying on stats and profile. We bought Fabio Vieira because there is a profile on
35 million.
35 million on Fabio Vieira.
And we're about to send him back, by the way.
Can't link two fucking passes together. And is a lightweight, and he's more lightweight than Odegaard practically.
Fabio Vieira makes Odegaard look like Ozil.
Ooh. That's a real bad comment for Ozil. Ozil's levels above Odegaard,
right? And I do apologize, Mezut. I do not want to disrespect.
He's pretty buff now. I think
Mezut, if you're watching, we apologize.
Yeah, truly apologize, but really and truly, Fabio, and I'm going to call him by Fabio because there's only one true Vieira, and we know who that is.
Patrick fucking Vieira, mate.
Yes, Fabio and Martin Odegaard comprise of probably the worst bottom five attacking midfielders in the last 30 years. Certainly
almost club's history.
Or Arsenal, right? And possibly even club history. You're absolutely correct.
We're not comparing Vieira to Ozil. We're comparing.
No, we're not.
Ozil.
That was not the analogy. That was not the analogy.
You can't
88 miles an hour, which is an incredible name, by the way. Incredible name.
About?
Yeah. You came like. Go back to the future a little bit more. Like go back about 5 minutes and listen to the conversation and how it started. Yeah. Anyway.
88 miles an hour. I was like, nope, I'm going to put on my brakes for a second here.
Man,
as much as I got mad, as much as I got mad, physically upset at Ozil the last 2 seasons. But again, he was on the end of a contract, and I always knew deep down he didn't really want to be there. Right? It was a surprise move when we got him. 42, 45 mil. I'm walking home, walking out of an Intel plant to the parking lot, looking at my phone saying, holy fuck, we just bought Ozil. And just like jumping for joy, like doing, just so excited. And his first 2 seasons, he was fucking incredible. And then it kind of got the Wenger effect, right? I mean, there's times Wenger, things were great, and then the influence kind of overran the ability sometimes, not the ability. Hey, what's up, network? So
big up Central Man.
Central Man, that's right. So
how you doing, bro? It's been a minute. Sorry. Keep going down. Sorry, I'll introduce Central Man. So keep going.
The Ozil is just one of those ones where, it just kind of went sour at the end, right? Yeah. But I do deep down think he never wanted to be here. I think it was a surprise move for everyone, to be honest. But what you're saying, Doc, you're right. We're going around in a circle. And I've been following this club almost 26, 27 years, and we've come full circle. Right, finishing second 3 years in a row, yay! But What does that really prove? Does that put any fear into our opponents? Yay, we beat Chelsea a record number of times. Yay, we've beat Tottenham, I think, the last 5 times. Yay, we're doing better against United and City than we have the last couple seasons. Big fucking deal. Chelsea have been to 6 finals. I was talking to the Yeti today. Chelsea have been to 6 finals. Liverpool have been to 5 finals. Newcastle have been to their 1 final in 70 years and fucking won. Right? I mean, there's been numerous finals in all the different cup competitions. We aren't fucking in. 0 of them. You know, that's what hurts the most, because listening to Arsenal, and I got those numbers from Aaron Arsenal, but shout out Aaron, going off again on his spreadsheet. He puts it all, lays it all out right there, like he did all the money we've lost, the $358 million in market value transfer money we've lost over the last 6-7 years. And on top of it, we're not getting to domestic finals. Mm-hmm. We're not getting to the finals, guys. It's like, yeah, the semifinals, fantastic. Champions League, we actually beat Madrid. Big fucking deal. That's a hill. That's a hill in a mountain to climb. True. And I'm sorry, but watching Inter and Barcelona play some of the best football I've seen in all season, to be honest, in any club, anywhere, any league, those are 2 of the best ties I've seen in a long, long time. There's no way on God's green earth we were beating one of those teams in a final. I don't care what any fucking Arsenal fan says. You could be the biggest AFTV ass-kissing punk, but the fact of the matter is both of those teams would have absolutely fucking destroyed us. But at the same time, if you're there, I got to believe as a fan that we deserve to be there, right? And that's where I get the ump. On to you. Go ahead, Doctor. We want to.
Yeah,
1 second.
I just want to just like a very quick amendment to that. Sure. And to that point, Al, we've spent three quarters of a billion pound. I mean, when people say that they're rather that we're acting so entitled, like excuse me, no, first off, they have rather they are working under the presupposition that we've never seen world-class players at this club. Right. That we have never seen armpits in May lifting up silverware. They truly, I mean, they may have the impression that this club was founded in 2006, 2007 when we had moved over to the Emirates, and that's and to say that we're entitled, especially after this manager has spent so much money to build a squad that's still thin on quality and depth, that can't even get over the line, even in the smallest of competitions. Right. Trophy's a trophy. We need to see some success, and progress without any success is really no progress at all. Sorry,
that's true.
No, I agree. Central man, I want to pose the same question to you that I posed to the Doc and Oregon Goon here. Will Spurs winning the Europa League wake this fan base up?
That's a good question, man. I doubt they're gonna win the Europa League, but I don't really want to. I don't want to see Spurs winning a trophy, but I don't know. I think this is they always complain about Arsenal fans who want to win trophies. If you can't see what Arteta's doing, you need to F off down the lane. It's like you. You went down to the lane, I think it's a bit of I don't know, it's a bit 50-50, it's about 50-50 about this, I think they'll I don't know. It's just like Arsenal fans, not online, not the majority, they're just kids, I don't know. I don't know, it's about 50-50 on it.
Let me ask you this, Central Man, to say what TJ said. Do you think fans, and I don't mean to shout anyone out, do you think fans like Eagle?
Shout him out.
Shout out, Eagle.
Yes.
You're a fraud. No, do you think fans like Eagle would turn? And I we all know that he's kind of out there, and I think sometimes he would admit that. I've been on a show with him once or twice.
I think he would. I think he would.
Do you think that would turn fans like Eagle, Central Man?
I'll be right back in 2 seconds.
Or Julian from AFTV. I mean the hardcore Arteta dick suckers, and I don't mean to be rude, but I mean really. Those are the fans we're talking about. Do you think this would really turn their heads against Arteta? The coat of delusion.
No.
I think they're going to be they'll be on that delusional world. I don't think it's, I think they'll be in that delusional world. I can't really predict the future, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, it's just one of those questions where if it doesn't wake them up, right, then again, it's like Dr. Butt says, we're in the same merry-go-round, right?
Yeah.
Right, we're in the same merry-go-round. It's just more money spent, more money through the system, more money that as bot shit players, I just don't see, if God forbid if Spurs win this, it's what we're going to have to hear in our community, right? The YouTube community, and their fans at the Emirates or their fans at the Lane, right? At the toilet bowl.
Yeah.
I just, God, I can't imagine that happening. I'm with you too, 88, is that United are going to beat them. I've already said 3-1. I don't know what you guys want to throw out a prediction or not, but I'm saying 3-1. I just don't see Spurs keeping up with Fernandez. I think, he's actually having a pretty decent season, and so does Kobe Mainu. So I think that, I don't know, United may have more weapons. What do you guys think?
Honestly, I think both teams are so shit that they are going to go to penalties, and they're going to go to, I don't know, maybe like the 36th, 37th wave of penalties just because of how awful both of them are. I mean, it's I don't know. I think they're both scrubs, and I think either team that win it looks rather like paints a really damning picture of ourselves, because that again, like everyone always talks about league placement, and I'm here to ask you a question as well as to the chat. 93-94 when we had beat Parma in the Cup Winners' Cup. Does anyone want to tell me where we finished in the table? Like I know the answer, but but like out of curiosity, consider that everyone talks about league placement.
And were we 10th? 10th would be my guess.
Central, any guesses or thoughts?
About like Arsenal won that Cup Winners' Cup that year. I think we finished 4th. Like 10th with 4th.
Yeah,
back then wasn't really a big deal.
Right.
You're exactly right, but that's also the point that that like league placement like is with respect to one competition, one of many competitions that occur throughout the season. Now, one can say that sure, like one's domestic league competition is has probably the most like primary value simply because you're able to qualify for other competitions an extension of. But at the end of the day, it is just one of many competitions that you're in. And and we've also seen teams as well. We have seen teams like Chelsea that had finished 8th and then won the Champions League. Sure, it's not the greatest thing, but at the end of the day, like we remember trophies. We don't remember league placement finish. That's really what it is. And what 88? Like we have plenty of solutions, like really and truly.
I actually love that comment. By the way, I love that comment. We can talk about solutions all you want. We can spend the rest of the show talking about solutions if you want.
Like what are we doing?
Firing the manager.
But people like 88 miles an hour don't want to hear that because they think of the financial. Oh yeah, well, he's been a financial windfall for the club. The Cronkies have more money than God. Like money does not matter.
I'm so glad you brought that up, TJ, because in case if our viewers across the pond aren't familiar with the Cronkies, they are married into the Kroenke, Stan Kroenke got his fame and fortune, mostly his fortune because he's not really that famous, he's more infamous than anything. He had acquired his fortune by marrying into one of the wealthiest families in America, the Walton family, and the Walton family owned Walmart, who also just happened to be America's largest private employer, if not the largest, then second largest to Amazon. It's been varying on and off now for the last 5 or 10 years, but ultimately Walmart is the largest employer across 25 of America's 50 states, right? So we're talking about half the country. So all of that, so all that wealth that he generated was building strip malls around the Walmart. So ultimately, like this man is not truly like a innovative businessman. He's more so just riding on the coattails of someone.
Correct. Hey, shout out Stan, way to marry.
Big up. Big
Way to go.
loud.
Way to upgrade from. Way to upgrade
He's
from.
showing him how
from
to showing
Tiffany
him
in
how to marry
college.
for sure.
What an upgrade from Tiffany. No, the thing is, no, the money. Like, it was a Yeti show earlier. I don't care about the money being spent. I do and I don't. It's the players, right? Now, if you would have bought Yusuf Fofana for 35 million and actually made use of him, if you would have bought, a striker maybe and made actual use of him, maybe another central defensive mid to help Rice, because Partey's aging and Jorginho's already got 1 foot in Brazil. Maybe I'd have some sympathy. But when we're asking for a striker and this manager brings me fucking Pretty Boy Floyd, Pearl Jam Californiari, like it's 1996 with chokers and long hair and shit. Listen
Don't
to
call
Jeremy
me
Spoken,
daughter.
Jeremy
You
Spoken,
Eddie
fucking
Vedder.
Pearl Jam, Eddie Vedder, fucker. And then you bring me Moreno, who's the 4th selected fucking midfielder at Sociedad. Oh, and by the way, is related to you like your second nephew or cousin or some shit. So I mean, and yeah, Moreno, yay, he scored some goals, but there's nothing prolific about him. He's been awful in the draw against Watford. He was awful in the draw against Leicester City. He was awful against the draw at Everton. He probably bagged one there, but who cares? The goal he scored against Madrid was fantastic. But again, it's we didn't play him there because we wanted to. We played them there because we fucking had to, right? And because Arteta didn't want to put Trossard there, which I can see why now. I don't think Trossard's that very good as an all-out striker, to be honest. But he never put Martinelli up there, who had the best right foot, the most mobile, the quickest to the ball, someone that can hold up the ball. Oh, but he puts his head down and he dribbles. Well, he's double teamed, and plus, like, there's anybody up there anyway, right? Who's he looking at? Nobody's fucking there. Even with Kai Havertz, that's another thing. And the Kai Havertz thing, that's another sword he needs to fall on as well. The Kai Havertz thing, I'm not going to let that go. And
We said that 2 years ago. We said that 2 years ago. We said that 2 years ago.
Yeah, and I know Moreno helped. I get that. But that's all like that's just kind of happened. Like it just happened. There was no real build-up to anything I think Moreno was doing. He had a couple of good passes, and I think we beat Leicester City or drew with them at the end. Remember that? I think we were 2-0 down, wasn't it? Or 0-0 or something like that. He put in a couple of good crosses, and Moreno put him there. I'm not trying to dog Moreno. I'm not trying to put him down, but he knows, and I know, Arteta knows, and 90% of the fan base knows he is not going to be our striker. He's being used right now because Arteta has no other real options, and that's his own fault because he bought the wrong players in the transfer window, and then we bought 3 keepers in 2 windows. What did we do that for? I just the whole thing's just been a cataclysmic fuck up since the beginning of this season. And then you banishing Neath in one area. What's going on there?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. I want to answer Hugo's question. Who put it in there? What's our best midfield with Zubi coming in, and if Partey stays and is healthy? I don't think Zubimendi is more of a stay-at-home ball winning 6. Like he's a central defensive midfielder. He's a holding midfielder. So, knowing this manager, it's going to be Odegaard, Rice, and Zubimendi. I don't think Partey stays with Zubimendi coming in. And I don't think Partey, especially in this stage in his career, is going to want to take a bench spot. And I would love to hear the rest of the panel's thoughts. But yeah, if Zubimendi comes in, he will get a spot at that permanent. He will get a permanent spot at that 6. But then again, he is a line breaking. He is a line breaking midfielder. So does he play him at the 8? Like I'm very, very interested to see how he plays Zubimendi, because I do think it's going to get over the line now. I did talk shit about this at the beginning because I didn't think we were actually serious about getting any midfielders with any sort of name from the Spanish league. But here when Fabrizio Romano says, here we go, as much as I think that guy's a piece of shit, I believe what he says. So he's literally the ambulance chaser of football transfer windows, but he's the Saul Goodman of transfer windows. But anyway, we keep moving. So my question is like, no, actually answer Hugo's question. Who is our best midfielder with Zubimendi coming in? And if Partey stays is healthy?
Do you want to?
Yeah, go for it.
I'll bite it. Okay. So I mean, like, so because I have like traumatic experiences following this club for the last 27, 28 years now, I unfortunately cannot trust that, and especially with how paid off like these so-called journalists are, that that do whatever they need to do for the club, basically operating as their mouthpieces. I do not trust anything until I see the player signing the contract and holding up the shirt. I mean, like, despite all of like the Fabrizios and and all the other media outlets saying that that it's a signed deal and that terms are already agreed upon and what have you, like, I mean, as far as I'm aware, like, multiple teams can activate a release clause, correct? Or am I misinterpreting that?
No, you're not.
Yeah, I think any team can bid. Like they put in a bid, right? Essentially.
So I mean, like, so like, considering that he has a release clause that we have triggered and he has signed terms with us as well, like, who's to say that because I know that Xabi Alonso wants him at Madrid. Like, who's to say that Madrid wouldn't also activate the release clause, provide him, I don't know, like, comparable or higher wages, and then also say, like, rather you will be honing your craft under Xabi Alonso, who was an actual proper, like, like deep line midfielder, as opposed to a tapas merchant who had never got into the Spanish team to begin with. And additionally, I think, and why I think there's some possible legs there is because like, I'm already seeing articles about Saliba potentially going to Madrid, with potentially Tchouaméni coming to Arsenal in return, and that would ultimately clear up a space for Zubimendi to ultimately start for Madrid. So I'm not entirely convinced that he is coming here yet, but if he does, I would very well likely agree with that lineup that you had mentioned, TJ. I think it's going to be Odegaard, Rice, and Zubimendi. But I don't think he was the right six that we were looking for. Like, I still think that we missed the likes of the type of, like, Gilberto Silva. That real, like, steely presence. The steely presence, like that rather, like, the engine room, like at the base of midfield, and I would have gone for someone, say like an Ederson from Atalanta. Like, I think we had missed the younger terrain. Like, when he prior to him going to Juventus, he was still over at Nice, I think it was. Like, that would have been a much better option. Like, I also would have taken Fofana as an option off the bench as well, but here we are. So that's my thoughts.
Yeah, here we are. Central Man, what do you think?
I have Zubimendi. I don't know, man. I don't think he'll come to Arsenal, man. I think he'll probably go to Real Madrid. This whole thing about, like, link with Tchouaméni leaving Real Madrid. He ain't leaving Real Madrid, man. I think he'll stay. And our best midfielder. I think our best midfield. I think the partnership. I think it's Rice and Partey. But we need some midfields, man. We're very, 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 very light, man. It's like Odegaard. You can't rely on Odegaard, man. He's just, I think I binned him off. He's been in for 4 years. He's done. He had one good season. That was like 2 seasons ago. Yep. And then he's been, he's done nothing. He brings nothing to the table. I think, we need a striker. We're crying out for a striker. We need like two midfielders, man. Like, we haven't replaced Guendouzi in like 4 or 5 years, since Arteta binned him off. I don't know. This is.
I was going to say, like, we also still have not replaced Xhaka after he left, and he was also.
Sorry. Oh yeah. Like, this summer's going to be very bleak, man. It's going to be the same as last season. Knox, linked with 500 players. We ain't signed nobody. Non-Arsenal fans will do this on gestures, like praying for God or hay fevers, or self-proclaiming that. The self-proclaiming that they revealing, like, you got this idiot Terry Flewis, that crappy Don Deal show. I was like, Like that's a load of misleading bollocks. But anyway, yeah, I think we need 2 midfielders, or 3. Well, actually 3. It's very light. It's not just we're very light, not just around like in goalkeeper position. Like Ray is not good enough. I changed my mind. That Ray is gone. I get rid of Ray. I've seen too much of him.
Hey.
He's just like
I
great.
think
Great
that's
example
extremely
that,
harsh.
Yeah.
Ray gets pinned in July.
Central man. I
Fucking
couldn't disagree more, but that's okay.
Neto gets a promotion.
I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
I think Ray is certainly getting a lot. I think his quality is from how good our defensive line has been. But
Right.
but I think he's still like an average number 2.
Dude, I average number 2. Are you fucking kidding me? You guys, this guy
He won the
has
Golden Glove
literally
last season.
saved matches for us this season.
Yeah, he won-
We have
Madrid would
11
have beaten us in the
players.
first leg
We
if
have
it wasn't for
11
him.
players. Five of which in the outfield I would sell today. Rhea is not even close to one of them.
I would certainly agree with that, and that we certainly do have other bigger fish to fry building the squad. There's no
my
shadow-
days. Big up Ashaba, by the way. Big up Ashaba. Big up.
But
You guys are funny.
when
Crazy talk, guys.
No, hold on. Hear me out. And again, I don't mean to steal the mic, but but I think
go.
rather like when we look at title winning squads, when we look at Champions League winning squads, Jan Sommer, right? Quality. He's been around for a hot
He's
moment.
fucking good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he's a good
He's
goalkeeper.
like 8 years older than David Raya, though.
Right. Iker Casillas, solid.
So
God. Buffon.
Valdez, solid.
you guys are naming legends.
Guys are all like,
Legends come around.
Cells?
Like legends come around every 5 fucking minutes. They
All
don't.
black. Also, you know what? Hang on. So 288.
Messi's a pretty good player too. I heard he's better than
Oh my
Odegaard.
god,
No,
yo,
that's
you
for
guys
sure.
ever heard of this
Go
guy,
ahead,
Cristiano Ronaldo? Ever heard of him?
After the scrub, right? But hold on.
I know. I get where he's going though.
Point. I think that we should go for Alex Murray, the goalkeeper over at Napoli, who is available on a free this summer. He's available on a free.
I will judge.
Judge is fucking hilarious, man.
So hold on. I'm too busy Judge's comment. Say that again. Something in the summer. We should. What? What did you say, Doctor?
So there's a goalkeeper over
Right.
over at Napoli. His name is Alex Murray. He's available on a free.
Okay, bring him in. So that'll be our 4th goalkeeper in 3 windows.
No, I don't want to see another goalkeeper. Keep Tommy Sepford in the the second spot. I don't give a shit. I don't care.
I think
We're fine.
I think we need ceiling raisers across the board. And while some
agree.
positions have
Now,
higher priority than others,
that's the path I agree with. Yes. Now you're right. And even 88 says Oblak. Right. What's keeping us from buying that goalie? I get your point. What's keeping us from really going after, let's say, Ter Stegen, right? Who's been injured most of, I think, this season, right? Who's a top goalkeeper, better than David Raya. What's keeping us from going for an Oblak, better than David Raya? So I get what you're saying, right? You're going down a path that I think everyone agrees, but now you're talking about a multi-billion-dollar squad that granted, we've already spent 3/4 of, so what does it fucking matter already? Right, and it comes down to recruiting, right? But yeah, I mean, it's not FIFA, number one, right? But it is at the same time, right? Because when you do have hundreds of millions to spend, and you do have access to those players, right? Why not go and get the very best? So I completely identify with the path you're going down. David Raya won the Golden Gloves though last season, right? I mean, that though is building his credit. And I also believe he's around 26 years old, which is relatively young for goalkeepers, right? But I think he has the potential to be in that list. But at the same time, I'm with you too, Doctor. I don't care about building David Raya's fucking career. I want the best fucking keeper now. Now. If it's not Oblak, Ter Stegen, if it's or whatever names you want to put in there, right? I mean, Donnarumma, Judge says, right? If Donnarumma beat us in Champions League, why don't we go get him in July? That's the mentality, and that is where I'm with you 1,000%. That's the mentality, right? But then comes reality, right? And that's where the rubber hits the road. David Raya is the Spanish goalkeeper now. He actually took the job from Unai Simon.
Oh, did he really?
He did.
Did he?
Okay.
Did he? I thought
believe
Simon
so.
was the. I thought Simon was still the head goalkeeper for Spain.
I thought it was number 2 in the Euros.
Really?
No. Simon was
Was I wrong?
starting
Raya
goalkeeper.
was second place.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
My apologies. I know I saw Raya
it's
in
fine,
the
it's
Spanish
fine.
team. So
Yeah, no,
hasn't played
he
for
was in the Spanish
He's in the
team.
Spanish team.
I was
Right, so
watching the
that's
Nations
the
League game
two.
like 3 months ago, and Simon was still in the goal. But anyway, keep going.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, but with Simon's done, David Raya's next step, right? He's the next one. So, and I think Simon's probably is 32 maybe, and I think David Raya's 26, 27.
I think a Unai Simon is only 28, I think.
28. Okay, so maybe there's a 2 to 1 year difference. But that kid messy. Yeah, right. So, but I mean, just to kind of summarize what I think, what you're saying is we need the best now, right? And there really shouldn't be the argument from that. If you know Oblak is fucking incredible in the last 5 or 6 years, get him here. If you know this player has been phenomenal the last 4 or 5 years, get him here. And I'm on board with that 1,000%. The issue is we have a board. The issue is we have owners that have limits. The issue is we have a manager who's a fucking rookie and probably doesn't even know who Oblak is. Right? I mean, there's certain players. I mean, I know he knows who he is, but there's certain players that I don't think are even on Arteta's radar. Right? You've named Fofana before, and I agree with you too. Top player. He went to AC Milan. We probably should have. Did we make a bid for him? Were we linked to him? I don't know. Right? But but the eyes don't lie. Right? So again, I like where you're going with this, but and as much as I would love the world-class players in every single position. Even if you look at City, that's not realistic. And Liverpool, right? You got to bring on Harvey Elliott sometime. And I just feel that kind of it's true. You have to bring on.
It is.
Players. It's more than the starting 11. But with doctors, I think what he's again, not to beat a dead horse, is he wants the best. He wants it now. I don't give a shit about developing any of these players' careers. I don't care how they develop really inside of Arsenal. I just want them to win. I want them to concentrate on winning and making winning trophies a priority. Not the hair flicks, not the social media. I want them to concentrate on lifting silverware for North London is what I want, right? I again, the Kai Havertz, we saved him from Chelsea. Fabio Vieira, we gave him an entry out of the Portuguese league. Odegaard, we gave him an actual fucking home because he was homeless for God knows since he was 16 years old, right? In and out of Madrid, Sociedad, nobody knows what to do with him. Oh, but come on in and we'll make a star out of you. One great season, like Central Man said, it's done. Like why? And I'm with the doctor too. Why waste our time? Why waste our time on these players that maybe will come good? Well, it's been 6 years and where we're at, we're again in the vicious cycle. So I digress.
No, you don't. You're nailing it actually, and I want to end the show on this question because I think and big up Mob Boss every single time. I want to end the show on this question, and then I got to get out of here because it's Sunday and I got to continue doing laundry.
So does the doctor.
Yeah, so does the doctor. It's Sunday. It's Sunday in America, people. Who stays? Who goes? In your mind, I have a list of folks, and I'll just go ahead and say it. Odegaard has to go, in my opinion. We got to bring in another central midfielder that is creative and can actually create chances for those around him. Give Declan Rice the armband. Martinelli can go, in my opinion.
Breaking my heart.
Yeah,
left winger.
Zinchenko can go. Calafiori can go, even though I know he won't. Gabriel Jesus, I love him as a person, but as a footballer, he's done. Kai Havertz, he'll stay, I'm sure, but I would like to flush him out as well, and we'll do a whole show on this at the end of the season. But my question to you guys is like first game names that come to mind to get out of here, and with hope that we actually bring in somebody worth it in the summer. And we'll start with the doc.
So I'll tell you who I'm keeping. Well,
Okay.
And I guess I should even preface it. I mean, so what I would say is that, like, if we were to sack the manager, I would actually probably retain most of the squad. And because I truly think like someone like Inzaghi would come in, and I think he would truly raise the ceiling of a lot of the players that we have. And I think he'd be getting a lot more from the players that we have, because while I do think that there are certainly a lot of players that have not done enough or anything at all to earn the merit of wearing the badge, I also place more blame on the manager for his archaic tactics, for his inability to get the best out of players, and for playing players out of position simply because, you know, they can invert or some other, you know, cockamamie nonsense. But knowing that Arteta is going to stay throughout this summer, the only players that I'm keeping are Saliba, Gabriel, Timber, Rice, Lewis Skelly, Nwaneri, Saka.
Wow. I think that's good enough.
That's about it.
Party and again, like, I mean,
That's a 1-year extension, right?
Right. So I maybe say those 8, and then I would put like an asterisk on Raya and Party's name. Rest can all go fuck off. Goodbye.
Wow. Cool.
And also before any creative chat that say, oh well, you know, you're just giving me things that you want to do, but what about solutions? I have plenty of transfer solutions as well. And we can come to that, you know, like a few weeks down the road. All right. So again, you know, it's not to say that I'm just saying it as to, you know, like clear everyone out, which we do need a massive clear out. I mean, like, I think we need an entire second rebuild phase after we've spent $750 million.
Well said. The TJ's heart is broken.
I'm gonna go to Central Man, and then I'm going to Dal, and then I'm gonna continue to try to mend my broken heart over some laundry. Central Man, who would you keep and who would you get rid of?
Keep. Okay.
Fuck
Saka.
you, Phineas.
Rice. Timber. Gabriel Saliba. See, Miles Skelly, Ethan Nwaneri. Maybe not really. Like maybe Martin. I gave him maybe Martinelli.
This guy's ready for Martinelli to stick around. Okay.
So that's the players I keep. The players I sell, like Odegaard, gone. The guy's wearing like Gilberto Silva, Sammy Nasri's number. Get rid of him. Give the captaincy to Saliba. My captains will be Saliba, and my vice captain be Rice. Anyway, continue on the players are going to leave. Tierney, he's gonna go because he's wasted for like almost 6 years at the club. You know, he's gone. Tomiyasu, Tommy shirt sells. You know, he's just like.
I forgot that guy even played for us. I forgot that guy played for us.
Tomiyasu. Yeah, Tommy shirt. Yeah, Tommy shirt sales, man. Yeah, he's Japanese. The only book.
Mary Bischoff level.
yeah. And also that Calafiore, that was a waste of time, man. Let me think. That's Sterling. That was a waste of time. I don't know why we got him. You know, that's Arsenal for you. We're just buying Chelsea rejects.
Thank God it was a loan.
Oh, he's on the loan. Oh yeah. So Jesus. You know, that guy, his career's done. That manager killed him.
Gabriel needs Jesus for sure.
Yeah, he needs Jesus, man. I think. I keep Zinchenko as a midfielder. You know, Party, I think it's time to move on. He's been here 5 years. You know, he's not getting younger. You know, on second thought, I'll keep Raya because we need a goalkeeper. We're in this situation.
Oh
You know,
my
you
God.
know,
You guys are harsh.
you
all
know,
these people, all these people
We
talking
do
shit
need a
on him.
goalkeeper. We need someone between the
like
sticks.
Yeah,
He's
oh my
not going to
God.
say
Yeah,
this
yeah,
Ryan
we-
slander.
The anti-Raya crowd is actually crazy. We have
Dude,
so
listen to
many
the doctor.
other
He wants to bring
places.
back fucking
We
Oliver
have so
Kahn.
many other we have so many other places in this club that need to be addressed, but people are going after David Raya. Okay.
I think
Cool.
I think that's it. I think that's it. You know, I can't
right.
can't
Hey.
remember even more.
No, that's fair. Dal?
I just want to ask the doctor, if Oliver Kahn was on a free contract, would you want to sign him?
My days in a heartbeat. It's not even a thought.
Yeah.
All days. Okay, you know what?
Peter Schmeichel, do you want to bring him out of commentary and have him go between the sticks?
Yeah.
I would take Khan. I would take Schmeichel. I would take Van der Sar today.
I think I could take Peter Shilton, man.
Yeah, get him out of their fucking wheelchair and bring him onto the pitch.
So look, you know, we have seen a real spectrum of goalkeepers at this.
We
point.
have.
You know,
That's true.
we have seen the greats with respect to like O'Leary, Lukic. Well, he wasn't that great, but but he was solid, like Lukic, Seaman, Lehman. But then we've also had real landfill, you know, sourced goalkeeper.
Almunia.
Absolute trash. Almunia, Flappy Hansky,
Gunnarsson.
Vito Minone. Remember Vito Minone?
Oh my God, Vito Minone. That's right. That's right. The whole
Vito Minone.
Yeah, that's right.
That one penalty he saved against Fulham, and he was a legend or some shit.
Oh my days. So I rate Raya just slightly higher than Chesney while he was here at Arsenal.
Wow. Well, Chesney wasn't that good, but he wasn't. I didn't think that bad either. Right?
Correct. Exactly. That's why.
Yeah.
Chesney.
But God, if I had to pick, keep or leave, that's a tough one. I'm gonna pick the ones I want out.
Unreal. Yeah, pick the ones you want out. Come on.
The ones I want out, I want. It's not gonna happen, but Kai Havertz is number one on my list. It's got to be. We've got to sell this bastard to retain some sort of money from him. So Kai Havertz has got to go. Obviously, Jesus will go because he can't play. Tomiyasu's got to go because I don't know where the fuck he is anyway. And let's see. Odegaard's got to go, and I'm going to tell you why. 14 times he lost the ball against PSG. 14 times. Right?
Arteta
out.
Arteta out. Big up TK and obviously.
Sell Havertz. I don't give a fuck about his salary. His salary demands me nothing. He's a donkey. I want him gone. It was it's the worst 65 million we've spent. I want him gone. Yeah, the whole squad. I'm almost there. Zinchenko's got to go. Tomiyasu's got to go. I still think we keep Calafiori just because he's so new, and I think there is some talent there. I just think he's a really raw talent. He scored a couple of important goals for us this season, and I think that he really wants to be at Arsenal. I think, you know, he's worn the shirt as a kid. He wanted to be number 33. We gave him the 33. I think there's something there with Calafiori. I would not let him go just yet. Moreno, bench. Martinelli, my guy, bench. But I think he'd be fucking phenomenal to come on in the 75th minute when we really needed that goal against somebody. I do think he has a lot of worth of value at 24 years old for us. I don't want that value going somewhere else. Right? If he was to go somewhere, I think Villa would probably be the spot. I think Unai Emery would be the first one to get Martinelli, first one in line, but that's neither here nor there. So Martinelli, for me, I know I said leave. I'm on the fence with him. So in that case, I would bench him. I just wouldn't let him go in July, right? But I would let Trossard go, Sterling go. I know we have a year extension with Trossard, I think, coming up. I would not extend that. I would take that extension and give it to Partey for one more year. So Partey and Zubimendi, because who I do believe is coming in can figure out the midfield. Zubermendi can learn from him. And of course, we keep Rice. We sell Fabio Vieira, Lukonga, all the dead weight gone. That's Neto. I think he's on loan though. If not, I want to.
He is on loan and send him back immediately. They should have canceled that loan after the one game he played for us.
Right. I have no problem putting the Stepford kid in as our second goalkeeper behind Rhea. I have no problem with that whatsoever. Of course, keep Gabriel Saliba at all costs. That's the spine of the team. We cannot let either one of them go, even though Madrid come knocking. We must do our best and pay them over the odds if we have to, out of our budget allocation for squad or whatever. We have to find a way to find that money to make them stay. If it's coming from whatever they got to allocate the money from, if it's from fucking selling shoes, trainers, sweaters, whatever way to find the money, you have to keep Gabriel and Saliba at all costs. Because if they leave, Raya's really going to fall off. If you think Raya's bad now, just wait till one of those fuckers leave. He's going to be terrible. And that's true. But I would say that's true even if it was Oblak. Even if we bought Oblak two seasons ago, one of those defenders are gone. It's not the same Oblak in the shirt, right? So with that said, Raya falls off completely. We absolutely keep Timber, part of the spine. Ben White, I think we keep, because I still think at 25 years old, there's still value there. He can play some cup games. He can play some Premier League games. I don't think we need a right back urgently, because I also think Skelly could probably play there if we really, really had to. I think Calafiore could probably play there if we really, really had to. Obviously, keep Skelly. Maybe change his position as a CDM, but I think he would need some more weight and age and experience before that role came in. You're right, Judge. Ben White will be injured more, but I don't think that the $50 million we've spent, we've got all of the good Ben White yet. I still think there's more to come with Ben White. I think he would be better somewhere. If he goes somewhere else, he will be a vast improvement on whatever team he goes to, and I don't want that. Again, I want some players off the bench, right? I want the deadwood and the bad players that we all can agree on out. But I think Martinelli, Ben White, I'm kind of on the fringe of that. They are good squad players, in my opinion, right? Yeah, we haven't won anything with them. I understand, but Martinelli and Ben White are solid players we should keep on the bench, and maybe look at building the bench a little bit separately from the first 11, right? You could obviously they got to blend together because it's going to take 18, 20 players to win the league, I think, with the extra competition from Aston Villa, etc. But not to talk about too much, TJ, because I know we got to get going. But yeah, I'm like half the squad can go and roughly half can stay, with 2 or 3 of those players keeping on the bench, not selling.
No.
But we need a striker. We need a striker, a CDM, and an attacking midfielder with which one area I think is ready for, and get rid of Odegaard. I think Odegaard has to go. I know he's linked PSG last season. If we can get money for Odegaard, do it now, because this kid is not it. He's just not it.
He's not it.
He's got a great attitude, and I appreciate that. I think he does work hard in those matches. This just is not the league for the kid. It's just not the league for him.
No, I agree. And look, we'll do an open call-in show. Big up Latimus Prime. We'll do an open call-in show here in the next week or so. But we're about to wrap up here. I agree. I agree with what you were saying. Dow, for the most part, I think that Odegaard has to go. I think that when you need your Arsenal captain to show up, he never did this season.
Dortmund's a perfect place for him. Dortmund,
Leverkusen.
Yeah.
Dortmund's a youth development club. I think
they need leadership too, right? And
you're right. You're right. You're right. The point that I'm trying to make is that it's not at Arsenal. It's done. Right. It's
I don't
over.
think it's in the Prem.
It's not in the Prem. It's not in any big league. Maybe he goes to France. And France is a big league. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't think it's in any top league or any big team. He's just not that guy, and he's proven it this season, and he's proven it the season before. But anyway, all right, guys, that's the show.
What about you?
Didn't I say it already?
No, I don't think you did. No, I think it started off with me.
Shit.
Doctor to Central to me.
All
TJ's
right.
got laundry to do. You got 3 minutes, TJ.
Now keep me
All right.
hold you accountable, big fella.
God
Yeah.
damn it! I thought I did. So who am I keeping? Who am I selling? I am keeping Rice, Saka,
Oh,
Gabrielle, Saliba, Timber. Those and Raya, obviously. Those are the and Winieri. Like I'm not going hard into the squad. Miles Lewis Skelly. Okay, there. The rest of them, the people that I'm selling this summer: Odegaard, Jesus, Havertz, Martinelli, Trossard, but he's staying, so I'm not even going to
You
mention
would take
him.
Martinelli off the bench. One more season. One more
No.
season off the bench. Wow.
Maybe. I wouldn't. Okay, maybe. I wouldn't be totally upset. How about that? I wouldn't be totally upset if he stays. I mean, you're not going to see me losing my mind. Kiwior. He's okay. Like I'm not going to lose my mind if we keep him. Zinchenko has to go. Calafiori has to go. Ben White, squad player, if he wants to be.
They don't have a choice.
I think he wants to be on the beach more than anything.
That's
yeah,
right,
dude. That guy wants to be. That guy wants to be in a tanning booth more than he wants to be on a Premier League
Love
pitch.
Island.
Man, like Matt from Benidorm. Am I right?
Central.
Yeah, right.
Central man
Bro.
agrees.
Yeah. Who am I missing? Yeah. Tomiyasu. I don't even remember that he played for the team. Yeah, I think I named everybody. I'm pretty sure I named everybody.
Sure. I think you covered it all.
Marino, he's gonna stay, so it doesn't really fucking matter. I don't rate him. I think he's a squad player. I think he's a mediocre 6. I think he's a less of a mediocre 9, which is an indictment on the talent ID of this organization as a whole. But yeah, we need a 9. We need another left wing. We need a central midfielder, which Zubamendi is going to address, but I don't think he's the profile that needs to be addressed. I think we need another center back that's of quality that can actually back up Saliba and Gabrielle.
Right, for sure.
But we'll see if that actually happens. We'll see if that actually happens. I have zero faith in the board. I have a lot of faith in Berta because he's shown that he can bring quality players to Atletico Madrid. So we'll see. We'll see if people are adequately backed.
You're ready to call it a day on Calafiori though already.
Oh yeah, I'm done. I'm done with him.
Wow.
No.
Yeah.
He's not it.
Wow. Okay.
No, he's not it. He's shown he's shown. I mean, even in the Euros, it was like if you look at it again, he was like he didn't impress me.
Dude, when I see when the galloping prince is running down the pitch.
Okay, all right, I'm done. I'm done with that. In the stream, Dave.
He's a good raw talent, you know, and
there might be a good player there.
It will take time, and that's the thing I gotta say too. I don't want to spend the time, right? It's like you gotta, and I agree with you guys too. Like Calafiori has to hit the ground running, which he kind of has, kind of hasn't. Right, he scored some goals. He scored some important goals for us against Man City, right? So that does give him some credit in the bank. The defending, we can work on that. Maybe he doesn't introvert as much. Maybe Arteta's learned a lesson. I doubt it. I know that's the thing. If he's not inverted as much, I think he's very decent, right? But he's being instructed to be inverted.
And I think, and I think also to that point, Dal, you know, like I think oftentimes like the price tag ends up carrying a lot of weight.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like over the head, right? So for example, like if we bought Calafiori for maybe say 15 to 20 million pounds,
correct.
Like maybe I think we would be having a much different conversation.
Absolutely.
But you know, but even as well, you know, like players like Bambi Lakanga, like Fabio, those are going to be really hard players. Those are going to be players that are going to be very hard to get off the wage bill and out of our squad, just because you know they have proven time and again just to be, you know, subpar.
Bad. Sure. And I think Calafiori, had his career, and he is a full pack in the thing.
Here to there cooking again.
And
must be another day that ends in Y.
And also, for like, we did not buy Calafiori to score goals.
Exactly,
Right.
and that's really what he's done for us this season. He scored 2 key goals. 2.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think that he's so new to the squad that it just
You want to give him one more season, Dal? Just say.
I would give him one more season. If he really doesn't cut it, that's it. He doesn't have to start. He doesn't. I'm not saying start him. Lewis Skelly has earned that starting position.
Yes, yes.
So he's earned that. I will give him that. But I just think like one season California, you know and I know, we ain't gonna sell him in a year. We may loan him, right?
That's
but
true.
then we have no left back for when fucking Skelly gets hurt.
There's zero
still
chance
with
that we
the club.
loan him. There's zero chance
Yeah.
that we loan him. Tierney's going out. I don't think Zinchenko stays. So
Right. I don't think so either. Yeah, we get 30 mil for Zinchenko. We're going to take that because I know he's been linked to Bayern Munich and I think Inter. And the Calafiore thing is great debate, right? I know our man Lee Gunner wants him fucking gone too, and probably a couple other fans. I just think that's a little harsh right now, right?
Yeah.
But one more year, I'm like you. If they have a 4-year contract and they ain't good at 2, cut your losses, right? We've learned the lesson of widening out contracts.
The only thing that I would say to Warrior J93, so while I think that Lewis Skelly is a solid left back, I have seen a lot. I think I've liked him a little bit more like in the left 8 role, than over left back. Personally speaking. So to that end, there are 2 left backs in mind that I would bring into the club, ironically enough. So the first one would be Tyreek Mitchell from Crystal Palace, who is also available on a free and also meets that English quota, just FYI. Right. And then a second one, low key, would be Miguel Gutierrez from Girona, who is also available on the cheap and also fits that exact inverted left back mold that Arteta wants. Right. So I think that there are actual left back options there, while also being able to still satisfy a midfield gap that we have.
Yeah, I would even look at Kirkes, the guy from Bournemouth.
He's also so good, but I think he's
I would take him, but I think Liverpool already snagged him. And to answer Prime's question, he is a center back, but he hasn't played there, bro. So until he gets the run of games there, right? I can't really comment on Calafiore being the left center back until he plays there. And like Prime, as you know, this is all by Arteta's design, right? This is all by Arteta's design. My case for Calafiore is I see a raw talent there. I see someone who plays for the shirt. I see someone who really wanted to come to the club, already had his number in mind, the big 33. So those play positives for me. The ability will come, hopefully. Again, if it's a 4-year contract, they don't make it in 2. I ain't wasting 2 more years on them. And that's how we've got to be ruthless, because I know Chelsea's going to be ruthless. I know City's ruthless, right? If it don't work for him, Guardiola sits him down. Jack Grealish, plain and simple. Prime example, 14 goals, $100 million. 14 goals. In the season, in all his seasons, the 3 seasons he's been there, 14 goals, $100 million. Right? So I don't want to be that guy. Shout out for Pete.
Big up for Pete. All right, guys, we're going to close out there. Big up the doctor. Big up Central Man Network. Big up everybody that joined. Thank you guys so much for joining. Great show. Big up Omar. And, of course, big up my guy Dal. Every single time we will be live again on Friday, the normal time. Big up everybody that joined. We are going to redirect over to the Yard Man show over on Sarcasm City TV. So make sure you go over there and show them some love. Lee Gunner is also live if you want to go over there and say hello to him. Until next time, I don't know.
Arteta out, Kroenke out.
Arteta out.
Until next time.
Odegaard's dead to me.
So long, Pillowfoot.
Pillowfoot.
You're not God. You don't have the answers. You don't have the answers, Connor. You don't have the answers. Let's just say that. You don't have the answers.